because of him. Maybe I need to get near the microphone.
All right. Well, hey, everyone. Welcome to Short Rest for episode 85. Oh, boy.
No.
I need to pull out my notes because a lot of things happened.
And I don't like them.
I think I wrote down the chart that you wrote down.
The chart?
At least we figured out the chart, because that was the thing. I'm all like, wait, put the pieces together.
So let's go. Let's step by step of what occurred. So you guys left to Ironsides. Rested there, found a safe place to rest. Did a couple of sendings.
Couple.
Well, not yet. I'm saying we're taking this step by step. I think you sent one to.
Just the two. I sent one to Igno.
Igno didn't get a response.
And then one to Uthiel's mom,
Uthiel, Mary, who informed you of a tragedy happening to Moscow. Was taken by the light. Rested. Had a goddamn heart-wrenching moment from Rolly that I did not expect to happen, and I felt so bad afterwards.
No offense, that's what you get.
Oh,
Good. I had an entire little sequence that I wanted to play out where it was basically just Rolly for the good time of about maybe 2 to 3 hours is just literally slumped up against the wall with the stone in hand, the most defeated he's ever been in this entire campaign, just talking to the stone, knowing it's not working, but just becoming the definition of insane, just hoping that maybe that next line might be the one.
The moment of, honey, I'll talk to you later. I'll see you soon. I was just like,
You did this to me. You did this.
I heard it hurt so bad, and then some good rolls for scrying. Was able to get a glimpse of the castle as well as the barrier around it. Learned that Godrix was recruited by the Raven's Kiss to help them locate the castle. He got attacked. I always love that comparison in that there is a little bit of. There's either a little bit of Rolly and Godrix, or there's a little bit of Godrix and Rolly. Like they're kind of one of the Imagine if Rolly was always angry. That's Godrix.
Godrix has years of PTSD.
He is damaged. He's
Yeah.
definitely damaged.
Mentally and physically just kind of broken.
Yeah. Let's see. You guys got to Varsal, learned about Umber, and how.
Yeah, I like how you just were hitting Vera with a bunch of emotional bombs. It was like, by the way, even if it wasn't somebody that was obviously meant to emotionally wreck her, like Rolly's dad, it was still damn.
Unfortunately, because you were the one getting all the information directly, it was going to hit you.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, that's right.
I really don't think that there's anything that Vera could have said that I guess to gather up my thoughts better, just her expression and her action of just stopping midway once she got the news, that I don't think it could have hit harder than that. She could have literally told me, hey, your dad is gone, but it wouldn't have had as much impact as what she actually did, which is
Did she just go up and hug you or something?
oh
Yeah, that was after Gina Lee.
Right.
Lee.
that was this is perfect. Well, it's not perfect. I hate you, Dia. It's not perfect, but it was pretty good.
Because I think that's what she would do, because she promised Rolly's dad that she would let nothing bad happen to Rolly. We made these promises to our parents, and so she likes Rolly's family. She's close enough to them, and to say the one parent he does have is just gone, she's just well, what the hell do I say to that?
I should have also mentioned this. So let's go down the list that we finally know now.
Caleb.
And through the detective, Diovan, that you know that this is a little bit of a teleportation magic that has a little mixture of a spellsmith thing. So you kind of learn okay, it's not disintegration. It's not like they're dead, but we don't know it. And you did a scry, but it's like they're in some sort of state, almost like a stasis. Gina Lee was taken in her shop. Amber was taken. You don't know the. I actually wrote down what they were doing when they were taken. So Amber was taken. Don't know what happened to that. Ruby was taken. Ruby Blair.
All I remember from her
You
is
can only
red
assume
pantsuit.
You can only assume Ezekiel Barnwell was taken while he was in bed. Hannah was taken. Vosen was taken. Igno, you already knew, was gone. Taken as well. Those are at least the names you confirmed. I will say this, though. You would have also learned of this that I think I neglected to say this, but I think Arthur would have said this, that your buddy Duma was taken as well.
Well, I'm glad I didn't send the message to him because I thought about it, but then I was like, who has the actual pool? Arthur.
The Kavad family are now in the Feywild.
That was
Which is
like
like the best.
that was like the one selfish thing that I think Vera had to fight herself on because she was like, I know how much pull my dad has. Like, I know what he could do. But she was like, in that moment, was like, no, I'm not doing this. No.
Oh, and Moscow was taken.
Yeah.
No, we know that. So those... I'll let you know there's more names, but, you know, that's what you know so far. You know, it's just... We're not playing around anymore, guys. We're level 18.
We're not.
She's gonna get what's coming. It's just a matter of time.
I started to feel from the entire party as more names started to be dropped that everyone's attitude changed. Like as a DM, I saw it all happen where I noticed for Steve, it was just like, in terms of the player or in the character moment, it was like, you took my girlfriend. And then it was like, you took my dad. And then it was like, it started to build more and more and more. And then Savannah being sort of like, you were more of the elusive person, obviously, when it comes to your family. So it was definitely one of those things where it's like, in terms of people, probably you had less, but there still is, you know, those involved where you're just like, you're watching all of this happen. And then it's also kind of horrible because then you have Felix making a mental list of everyone you've ever known and then knocking people off lists or graying them out. And you're just like, I'm living with this nightmare.
Connected PTSD because directly affected by this because I almost fucking died.
Yeah. And then it's even probably as bad for Vera, who's the messenger, who's like, now I have to spread the news.
I mean, she was so happy that she just seen Gina Lee alive. Like, initially, we didn't know what happened to them. I thought they freaking got incinerated into sand. So
I thought they died until you said breathing. I was just like, oh shit, okay, they're not dead. Little glimmer of hope.
I think my heart sank though, or like Vera's heart sank when he said, oh, well, the army of dead are falling from the sky. And I'm like, what if she just pulled the freaking switch and was like, let them all out of the castle, see what happens. Like, that's what Vera's thinking right now. And she's like, I don't know how to put out the fire.
Only reason why I'm not super worried if they're connected is the collars thing. The collar means she's using them for something.
That's okay. Without being like super mean about it, like Rolly's dad is not magically inclined. What is she gonna
No,
use
I'm not
it for?
talking about the magic thing. It could be. I think there's people that are definitely connected because they're direct people to us, and there's people that are connected because she found a use for them. Keep in mind, it's not only that she needs the magic thing. They could be feeling another stone for all we know. She
True.
wants them for something.
I mean, she still has the blue stone. We know that much.
Yeah.
It's like,
Because remember, they were kidnapping people before it got this bad. So.
well, she was snatching up people from the battle. That like
you can
almost
assume
happened.
that the undead falling from the sky are probably dead people who were.
We already dead.
Yeah,
Yeah.
she's been snatching dead people for a while now.
That's just so
On the bright
insane.
side, it's not a massive amount of dead people that could have been a problem had we not stopped that war.
So the number associated per city would have increased or decreased depending on how quickly you guys responded to the
war.
war and how that was working. I essentially was like, okay, there's going to be a tier list of, I think the max I set was there was going to be a max of 50 undead hitting a city, every single city, which would have been devastating. But the fact that there's only, it's close to 20, it's like 18 is the highest, because one, you guys have done pretty proficiently when it comes to your adventures. Two, you've stopped her almost at every turn. And when it came down to the war, only a few dropped. So, I mean, near 20 people per city is harrowing. That's not good. You know, there's 7 cities and there's 20 undead army. Like, there's an undead cluster of these warriors. Hopefully everyone does well.
Well, we didn't leave anybody stranded, so that's good.
Yeah, I think it would have been worse if there was a city completely unarmed.
I wanted also the friends you made along the way to have a meaning. It was, how many can we rely on to fight battles that we're not there for? And that way, that's why you've met so many like proficient, martial characters and arcane characters. Just because like you have to make a decision. Who can hold their own?
I don't know.
I do think with Serlum it's just like, hey, if you don't defend it, then you're gonna lose whatever hold you have here. So like with the Scorpions, it's like, yeah, they may not want to get involved, but hey, undead army takes over your city, you no longer have control over it.
Well, I also mentioned
You ain't alive.
Olivia because he hates the Blakes. Like he
Oh, yeah.
the Blake mansions. That's why I was like, I'll mention that. But
The mention of Olivia, he was just like, oh, okay.
Because I remember he really hated them.
Well,
so
no,
I was
he
just
hated
like, Lily.
Underwood, but he didn't. He was untrusting of the Blakes and just the manor itself. But when you mention like, there's some past here, he's like, all right, let's get involved.
It's like, I'm not lying. She is helping. Unfortunately.
I mean, she is kind of the mastermind behind all of it, so yeah.
At least a big handful of it.
Yeah, I'd
Absolutely.
be like, dude, she killed her own brother. She was like, I don't care. You're dead weight.
It's like, you're no longer of use.
That's insane.
I can only assume that it probably would have been a glorious fight for Rolly to have fought if you were going against the guards who were essentially doing an investigation at the Gina Lee place.
I think it would have hindered us so badly, though.
Seriously though.
Hey, I just want to say props to Rolly for somehow, some way, miraculously finding the willpower to not just go guns blazing,
Yeah.
or I guess in this case, battle axe blazing.
Uh,
Just throwing that out there.
True, but I'm just like, it's not gonna, like, it's gonna make it worse. Like, okay, you knock out these dudes, that just means they're gonna send the battalion after you, and now we're screwed, because now...
Listen. Rolly has had many a thing after him. It does not scare him one bit.
I will
I'm
say,
not saying it's gonna scare you, I'm saying it's gonna screw you over.
I will say, Varsal. I think you already know this, but Varsal is. I think you probably don't remember, but this was way back in the beginning, like episode 3, where it's well known that Varsal does have one of the kingdom's largest prisons. Besides the underground prison that's within the castle itself, but Varsal is known for its prison system. So if they wanted to, they can send more guards. This is where the guards come from, because that's a lot of trade and commerce and money is handled here.
Yeah.
I'm sure Rolly would find a way somehow, as he always does. You can't hold this man down.
I mean, yeah. Eventually, you might have found it. We don't know. I'm just saying, I would have to send a lot of guards after you, but I would send them.
And I would defeat them one by one, every single time.
One by one.
Until I found my sweet, beautiful Jeannie.
Yeah.
This is supposed to be productive because...
Yeah, I was like, she's not even here on the ground.
Again, emotions, guys.
I know, but even that said, even when her dead husband was dead, she didn't actually kill Lily on sight, even though she wanted to. Vera did not do that.
Hey, did I fight the guards, though?
No.
Literally, you did.
I think
Willpower.
if you would have went out after them, I would have had to hold person you. Like,
Also, props to you guys in taking the yielding focus. Though at least the blueprints and documents about it.
I mean, there was a dream about it.
There was a dream about it, how her advancements will affect the world.
I don't believe the party told me that though, right?
No.
Did
We
end up
didn't
telling
tell.
Yeah,
this-
you don't know
we
that.
didn't tell him about the accomplishments. We told him that her name was there, that stuff she did would be recognized after her time here. We didn't say exactly what it was.
So I hate to have done it in a meta sense, but I had to do it. Rolly felt something, like something was telling him, like, hey, no one should have access to these, but like Gina Lee.
I think it also could have been sentimental because you were like, oh, that's a reference to me. I want that.
Yeah.
It could have been more
I
selfish.
took it.
I'm just trying to word that in there without like, you know, metagame.
For sure.
That's like the best way I could. Like, it's like I don't know if you know through destiny strands or whatever. Like if somebody else got access to those and did something like that would alter that timeline. Which honestly, thinking about it now, I should actually just done. Maybe Gina Lee be a lifelong. I don't know. The point is that if anyone else got those, then she would never have been recognized. Would never have accomplished some great ergo like something instinctual really
Another thing that you guys have learned through Godric's sort of sweep is that the city of Aftonborough, which used to be Overfield, which used to be the main capital of the Evergrey Empire, is now sprouting like an overgrowth.
Yeah, I have a hunch about that.
So I think if you guys happen to still be on the map, I think this area would be sort of Afton, whatever city I just said. I can't remember. Aftonborough. So yeah.
He's trying to bite the cat.
The only way to get to it, obviously, is through the desert a little bit, which is also very difficult to live through. There's a mountain, like almost like a half-circle mountain that's usually kind of blocking a lot of it. And then he also mentioned that the castle, the old castle, the Evergrey Castle that used to sit there, is gone. It's been jettisoned away.
Confirms like that, I guess is our castle, but possible that's where we're heading next after we check in on Mary.
Awesome.
yeah, we need to figure out how to, you know, take down that wall and then barge on in.
You still have one more thing to do, and that is find the servant of Palor.
Yeah. Well, I mean,
Go
going.
figure out what the heck happened to Igno.
Yeah, I mean, it's all in one area, so
Yeah.
it's the overgrowth thing. I'm feeling like that's freaking Zigmoid bullshit. But
I had that thought, but I'm not sure.
well, she hates
Find
the
her.
Wild Mother.
Find her and bring her to justice.
So I think today's lesson, or at least today's session, was a lot of...
We all need therapy now.
Sure. It was a lot of revelations of what's happening.
I was like, that sucks. I was like, Mike, I think telling Mike that my closest sibling was Bosun is my own knife in my chest.
Yeah, I saw that happen.
I was like-
in real life. Like in real time, I was like, Vosen was taken. You were like, I saw a shudder of a breath.
I was like, oh. I was like, I hope she still has her teeth so I can punch every one of them out.
So I did write something here that was, I think, will probably hurt you a little more.
Oh, fun.
Is Vosen was with Zima. Zima already has PTSD from being taken from
he took it?
Lily,
Oh,
and now you can only assume that Zima is pretty close to Vosen right now. Like, I don't want to be left alone type of feeling. And then all of a sudden, a light comes down, takes your brother, and now she's alone.
Yeah, but my dad went and got her, right?
Yeah. Well, your dad
I mean,
saw
now
the
she's in
lights,
state
and was like, I need to go see my children. So you can only assume that Zima's like, I'm done. I don't want to do this anymore. Like, what do you do at that point? The world sucks. I'm looking at Amber's face.
My brain, like, didn't say the dum-dum thought out, but I think even Vera would not get to that point of anger unless, like, she knows for sure somebody died. I think if she, like, they took everything, she would have messaged Olivia directly and said, come get me. Because she would have been that fucking pissed.
Dum-dum action.
Like, you want it? Come get it. Take me.
We just literally have this conversation with Rolly of control the emotions. Thank you for not doing that.
No, I know, but, like, I was like, you would have had to, like, push it to a point of, like, she could not get a plan around it, like, fast enough.
Savannah's turning into the parent of the group. Just like, calm down, everyone, calm down. Oh god, oh god.
Which is hilarious. How am I the parent?
I love it. This is the new like we're changing dynamics. Things are happening. People are being affected, and it's just how everyone's reacting. Rolly's on a dead set mindset and is almost like on a Terminator-like mission.
I think
Vera's being broken down, and Savannah's just hearing all this going, I gotta pull you guys together.
Vera's trying to actively, like, plan as she's told all the bad news, but is, like, getting pushed back every time she gets told a new piece of information. But I think her demeanor is, like, changed. It's not even angry or sad. It's just very much of, like, she's just going.
Yeah, you're like Rolly at this point.
She doesn't have, like, a reaction now.
Rolly's not raging. He's just do.
Yeah. I mean, technically, she could message Evergrey, too, and be like, come get me. But I was thinking that in the back of my head. I was like, what envelope would Mike have to push to do that? And I was like, it wouldn't be this.
So, and you know what? So much props on you, Steve, for getting the idea of what's happening. So, I'll just outright and say it. It's the idea of what happens if you take all the hard workers away from society. Like the ones who actually earned their place and didn't inherit their magic, their gold, their status, you know. Essentially, you're seeing a lot of people who it's in two categories. One, who's going to hurt you guys specifically? And the other one is how many citizens can I take who who have the work.
I mean, I saw a pattern.
I mean, besides like Vosen and other people who've inherited their powers and status.
All I know is I saw a pattern, and then it's like they... Okay, to be fair, initially, Rolly's thought was like, oh, she made something come down from the sky. This light was something destructive, and the people are dead, right? I lost count of how many lights there were, but like, I guess to metagame it in a bit, or in a way, I thought maybe she had used some sort of spell to like bring down meteors and like destroy people, like target people.
Yeah.
But like after the scry and telling me that Gina Lee was alive, it made me think like, okay, so she was captured. Why? And then I started remembering, oh yeah, Gina Lee told me that she studied very, very hard. So she wasn't born with this innate talent, she earned it. And then looking at all the like Igno and all the other people that were taken, it's like, oh, I see a pattern. I know what this woman's doing.
Yeah. Well, it's funny because
we'll fight her.
It's funny how if we remember, Lily Underwood was the one who took it to more of a race thing. She was like the idea I had it was like, what if one person had a concept and the other person was like, I'll take that concept and just make it worse. And that was Lily. That was her downfall. Like not even Evergrey was like, I don't even agree with your BS. You know, but you're a great lapdog. You know, you're a great just continue doing what you're doing, you know? I think I can confirm it that like it's Evergrey is not the one who was like, I hate those born with magic. She was like, I hate those who don't understand their magic and don't work for the right to use their title, their abilities, their anything. So it's funny because Gina Lee is an air genasi. She was born with levitation and all this other arcane spells, but she worked to the bone for what she got. So when you said that, I was like, my God, he caught on real quick. By George, he's got it!
-1 to intelligence.
You know that makes me concerned for Kat, though, right?
Yes. Don't worry. That's gonna be the third fire that gets lit. That's... Oh. I will literally become the avatar of Fury at that point.
And I don't remember if you guys know this, but if you do remember when you guys met the fire giants, they were making constructions and
Collars.
weapons from a design by the request of their queen. So you get a sense that the giants had a hand in some make of some, and you can tell by the braces over the neck that whatever remains of their creation is under Evergray's control.
Hold on. I'm being summoned. Yes, child.
Everything's all coming together. It's all coming together.
That's a child.
Well, is there anything else lingering on your guys' mind?
I mean, other than the Zigmar thing.
Break her. Find her. Break her down.
Well, thank you so much for joining us on this short rest. Someone is very upset. Or is he? Are you looking at me? Okay.
Calm down. He was yelling Mama and Nini.
Ah, okay. Well, thank you for joining us, and we will see you guys next time. Bye.